Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Donald Trump has warned Iran that time is running out to negotiate a deal on its nuclear program following the steady buildup of US military forces in the Gulf. The US president said a massive armada was moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm and purpose towards Iran, referring to a large US naval force. In response, Iran's mission to the UN said Tehran stands ready for dialogue based on mutual respect and interests. Mr. Trump had previously said he would rescue protesters involved in the brutal and unprecedented crackdown on demonstrations in Iran earlier this month. The US-based human rights activists news agency said it has confirmed the killing of more than 6,000 people, including 5,858 prisoners, since the unrest began at the end of December.
Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar has been attacked at an event she was hosting when an audience member used a syringe to spray liquid at her. Omar was uninjured and continued to speak. A Democrat who became in 2019 the first Somali American to serve in the US Congress is a fierce critic of US President Donald Trump. Authorities have not yet identified what the liquid was. Anthony James Kazimierz has been charged with third-degree assault and is being held in custody. India's Prime Minister has led tributes to Ajit Pawar, Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra state, who has been killed in a plane crash in the west of the country. Pawar and 4 others died after the chartered plane they were travelling in crashed at the airport in Baramati, Pawar's constituency, on Wednesday morning. India's Civil Aviation Minister said visibility was poor at the airport at the time of the crash. The aviation regulator has launched an investigation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called Pawar's death shocking and saddening and praised his service to the people of Maharashtra. His funeral will be held on Thursday morning. The wife of South Korea's ousted former president has been sentenced to 20 months in jail for accepting bribes from the controversial Unification Church. However, the court cleared 52-year-old Kim Keon-hee on charges of stock price manipulation and receiving free opinion polls from a political broker before the 2022 presidential election, which her husband Yoon Yeol won. Yoon has already been sentenced to 5 years in jail for abusing power and obstructing justice in relation to his failed martial law bid in 2024. This marks the first time in South Korea's history that a former presidential couple are convicted at the same time. Keir Starmer has arrived in China for a 3-day visit, the first time a UK Prime Minister has visited the country since 2018. Starmer, who is travelling with around 60 British business and cultural leaders, will meet President Xi Jinping and develop trade ties. After arriving in Beijing, the Prime Minister told the delegation, "We are resolute about being outward-looking and always being absolutely focused on our national interest." Speaking on the flight to Beijing, Starmer said the trip would bring benefits for people back at home. And on human rights issues, he said, "I've always raised issues that need to be raised." US technology giant Amazon has confirmed it will cut 16,000 jobs hours after it told staff about a new round of global redundancies in an email apparently sent in error. The email refers to a swathe of employees in the US, Canada and Costa Rica having been laid off as part of an effort to strengthen the company. The message was apparently shared by mistake as it was quickly cancelled. Amazon has not said where the latest job losses will fall or which countries will be affected. And the Smithsonian National Zoo's giant pandas, Baoli and Qingbao, have spent time outside in the snow while the massive winter storm hits the DC region. The zoo explained why the pair are kept in separate enclosures, saying giant pandas tend to prefer their own space and usually only share habitat when they're ready to reproduce. The storm hit wide swathes of the United States and caused chaos from Texas to the tip of Maine, knocking out power and burying major cities under a thick blanket of snow. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.